Hey everybody, welcome to Halfbeard Tut's Heads Up. Today we are checking out Rebel Galaxy, which we looked at a press alpha of ages ago. Like 6 months ago or something like that. And it's out as of today. And hey, guess what? We liked the shit out of an alpha, and I like it even more now. Who would have guessed? So let's jump into it. And I'm not going to really show too much. I'm not really going to have too much to explain, because it hasn't changed too much since alpha. But I'm just going to play a little bit of it, because it's fucking fun. So here we go. Here's my big old ship. As I said when we looked at the alpha, what's interesting about this game is it is a privateer-esque kind of space sim where you are going from station to station. You are selling items. You can see commodities on the right there. All that kind of stuff. You are doing missions. You are doing some kind of helping. Who are you helping? You're helping pirates, or you're helping the military, or you're doing merchant stuff, or whatever. And you're picking up all sorts of various missions. There's a main story campaign. But then the combat is full-on, like, Assassin's Creed 4 style ship combat, which is crazy and great. So let's see what's on over here. Merchant Rescue, perfect. Let's go do that. That's a mission I've already got bookmarked. It's something we can do, so aim my ship in that general direction. It's behind the space station, so just get going. Movement's pretty simple. Pressing A and B will speed you up or down. After a little while, in empty space, you'll be able to warp, or you can hold the left stick to do a boost. But yeah, now you can see that we're far enough away from any major objects we can go into warp. We will warp. The speed of your warp depends on your ship and the warp engines you bought. I'll get into ship customization and all that stuff later because it's quite in depth. There's a lot to it, and I feel like they've expanded that a lot since that alpha we looked at. So that's worth looking at. And yeah, just sit here, enjoy this sick ass music. This game's soundtrack has only gotten better because they've added way more to it. Stop here. Your warp will automatically stop when you encounter hostiles or when you encounter large objects, stellar mass. So when you're going through an asteroid field, you might get stopped a few times. The game's pretty good about putting that stuff on your minimap so you know how to avoid it outright. Like you can see on my minimap down at the bottom left, it's not too hard to kind of angle yourself in a way while in warp to not get stopped by stuff. But having it stop you is not bad because if you're mining, that's where you're going to find good stuff to mine. There are junk belts where you'll find cool containers to salvage, will have amazing weapons on them, all that kind of stuff. We're almost at a merchant rescue, though, and when we get there, I'll explain the combat. The combat is more or less unchanged. There's a couple facets, though, that I didn't get into last time, because I didn't play as much last time. I think I put maybe 6 hours into this finished version, so move forward. There are, press the select button here, and we can see all the things that are around, mining tugs, Corian miner. These things are all good, and then the red ones are bad. There are marauders, torpedo boats, all sorts of stuff. And here, I can lock onto a target. We're going to lock onto this guy, let's say. Get out of this. And I can start shooting them. I've got my broadsides here, which I can aim with my left trigger, and when I press the right trigger, I'll fire them. I can also switch to my various turrets, use those. My pulse turret. I've also got flak turret. And my favorite, I got this big crazy beam turret, which just murders guys. We're out of range, so it's not doing anything right now. And the other thing I can do is I can go to my tactical menu, and all my turrets, including my as well as my mercenary, I can set them to fight on attack different things. So my flak turret only goes after miners. My mining turret goes after any craft that gets close enough because it's essentially the space version of a melee weapon. My ridiculous giant green Viridian laser will attack whatever I personally have targeted, and my pulse turret also goes after whatever, and then my mercenary goes after whoever. So let's go get close to some dudes. Let's see. Switch to my broadsides. Aim at that devil bomber there. Actually, you can see I'm kind of aiming in on things. You don't have to be dead on a ship to kill them, but if you gotta, the farther away they are and the smaller they are, the more you want to have aimed at them, the more you want to have your ships aimed at them. You can do some really good maneuvers. You see there, I was able to stop just above, just beside that ship. There's some cool stuff you can do where you can pop and stop real quick when you're by pressing and by lowering and raising your speed. That's what I'm trying to say. Hard to focus and play this game at the same time. Where are enemies? Enemies. There's an enemy. Turn my left side here. Get that marauder. You see, it is actively not attacking my allies. your beams just don't fire off into space willy-nilly. There's a lot of targeting put into place here, which I like. It makes sense. You're playing, you know, in a big crazy spaceship. It would make sense that there's all sorts of targeting involved. There we go. We killed all those guys. Doing that, we get some various faction rep, and we got a bunch of credits. Done our stuff here. Let's go to a ship. Let's go to a station and show how that stuff works. So, closest station is going to be the whatever that's called. Skillook Orbit Outpost. You can see what its basic thing is. It's a diplomatic outpost. This one down here is a criminal outpost. This is a trading hub for the Merchant Guild. All sorts of stuff. But yeah, we're going to go to this outpost. Set a little marker there and go... Where am I going? This way. Maybe we'll hit an asteroid belt on the way, and I will show how mining works. Because why not? I forgot I've also got a secondary weapon system where I can fire off missiles from my ship, but they're not aimed. They just fire off at random. I can do that with X, just whenever I feel like it. Not really all that useful, but it's fun to have. Very relaxing game. It's got a very good, just chill out, listen to cool music, fly across space. Got a good feel to it. Alright. Here we are. Go dock at the Stelyuk Orbit Outpost. So now we're out of town. Outpost, whatever. Here I can do all sorts of different stuff. I can refill my ordnance, or repair my ship if my ship is damaged. I can buy new stuff, new weapons, or whatever. I've kind of got the best of everything right now for the most part, so I'm not really going to buy much. But I could buy stuff if I wanted to. I'm actually going to upgrade my mining turret is what I'm going to do. Because why not? See, that cost me a bunch of credits. I can sell my old stuff. You can also do stuff on trade. So, like, this particle laser, I don't have enough for. But if I traded in the weapon that's currently in the slot, which is a Mark II mining laser, I could then kind of put that on top of the money I've already got to get this. So that's kind of neat. Yeah, all sorts of stuff you can buy there. You go to Shipyard, buy new ships. I think I've got the middle ship right now. This seems to be the best ship. I don't know if that's the best ship for the entire game or for just this sector, because this game does expand into multiple sectors, which I don't think we'll see any of the other sectors, but I'll show you the map later. And these are all different. You can see this one's a very slow ship. It's not super maneuverable, but it's got super armor. It's got a ton of ports. The type of ship you're getting shows how many turret ports you'll have, how many ports you'll have for your broadsides, which is the big lasers I was using, how much stuff you can hold in your hold, how many components you can have, which are like perks essentially. I've got one component on this ship, which is this thing. Subsystems is what I mean by components, and I've got the fault tracker installed. I can also buy a few of these other ones if I had the money, and these do things like, you know, allow you a little bit more targeting of your torpedoes, give you a bit more maneuvering. You know, they're perks, essentially. That kind of stuff. But yeah, various ships, they all do different stuff. There are reasons to go back to older ships if you want, and if I trade in the ships I've got, if I use this, I'm trading in it, I will get that much credits back if I trade down to the Icarus, or if I trade down to the Hammerhead, which is the opening ship. But I like my Tenhausen. It's not super fast, it's not very fast like this one, but it's a beefy motherfucker, and I like a beefy motherfucker when it comes to a spaceship. Also got your commodities. You're picking up stuff from the enemies you're defeating, as well as just from around, and you can sell it off. There are different prices at all these different places. You will make more money. Like, I think I paid $6 something. I bought these really cheap. I think I paid $6.83 or something along those lines for this ceramic plating. So I'm gonna sell these, make a significant profit, and you know, you can make a lot of money this way. If you don't feel like doing the piracy thing, you can just do the space trading thing, and that's totally a viable way to play this game. Sell these munitions too, just because. And I will buy some tachyon salt, because tachyon salt pretty cheap here. So I'll buy a couple units of tachyon salt. Other things you can do, you can go to mission board, pick up missions. These all seem procedurally generated to just kind of show up as time goes on. In this case, I can protect a dude. Just because he's a good dude with the Red Devil cartel. I can go help some miners, go help the militia. And these are all, you know, different difficulty levels. You can do whatever you need to here. I'll go grab a death drop, because that's an easy one to do. It's an average level one. Those death drop ones are pretty tough, but I'll put it on there just because. I'll see what missions you've got, get rid of missions you don't want to keep. I'll grab this one too, just because. And I can also go to the bar. A number of things can happen. I can hire a mercenary, though you can only have one mercenary on at a time. I've currently got a Skija on, who's a crazy robot guy who likes blood. He's the most powerful mercenary I found in the sector so far, so I'm gonna stick with him. But, you know, talk to these guys, see what their deal is. Everyone's animated, everyone's voice acted. I love that they have this level of presentation. They didn't need to have, like, animated, fully realized characters on these stations. Most games of this type don't. Having them here really adds a lot. All the story characters are like this. All the mercenaries are like this. All the bartenders are like this. You can go talk to the bartender. They all got voices. They'll tell you what's up. A lot of them are a lot of repeats. You see this Australian motherfucker at most bars. But there's a couple different guys as well. See what's up. Tells me there's mines. Tells me what's good for the quadrant. Tell me what's going on with the market. Or I can pay him a few bucks, 450 credits, and he'll tell me where there are bounties around. So that's pirates who have bounties on them that are worth fighting. You can also go check out the news board. It tells me what's going on in the system. If you're trading, this is especially important because you'll know that, hey, there's been a mining rush in Priscilla. I need to go there and stock up on valuable minerals and metals so I can go off to tech, maybe Tholen Row, because they are in a tech boom. They're producing a lot of tech. They might be in need of metals, so you can kind of work with that. Yeah, and that's kind of what you do at a station. Let's get out of here, though. Let's go do another mission. Where shall we go? Go check our map here. This is the map of the system. As I said, there's a sector map. This is the full, like, I think it's just galaxy, arm of the galaxy, whatever. We're here at Rex. I want to say this stuff is all procedurally generated with each playthrough, but I'm not sure. Go to these other stations. These are all extreme threat right now. I do not have a ship good enough to go through those, and these threat levels do change as you get a better ship. So that's good to know. It's kept, you know, up to date. Let's go. I don't want to do a story mission quite yet. Where is that death drop one? Not up there. Oh, it's all the way down here. God damn, that's far away. Let's go do it though. Why not? And clear our custom waypoint. I am playing with a controller, as you might have noticed, though you can play with mouse and keyboard. You can play with mouse and keyboard. Apparently, it plays fine on the mouse and keyboard. It definitely feels designed to be played on a controller. Just you know, the way all the systems work. Not to mention the fact that rumble plays a big part of this game. When you're firing stuff, you feel it. When you're in warp, it has a very nice rhythmic thrum as the engines kind of pulse to push you across the galaxy. You feel it in the controller. They did a really good job of building a force feedback kind of profile for this game. It adds a lot to the experience. So I do recommend playing with a controller. Let's go over there. Not really much to do when you're in warp, which is kind of a bummer. You get stopped a lot, you know, by hostiles or whatever. We're gonna get out of this fight because I don't. What are a couple dudes? This fight might be a little tough for us, but we'll try to take them out. See what we can do. Oh crap. So, I just got hit by missiles. If I don't want to get hit by missiles, I can hit the right bumper and activate my deflector, which will absorb all damage for a period of time. But it is important to note that it's not invincible. It will go away quick enough. And as you take damage, you reduce the amount of time you can have it on. You've also got shields. Like, you've got a bunch of layers of health, essentially. You've got, there's soy paste over there. Let's grab that. You've got your base hull, which is the 100%. You can see down at the bottom there. You got your deflectors, which you have to activate, which are the right bumper. You can see it's that blue bar at the bottom. Then you've got your basic shields, which are the blue dots on the screen. And those are just always on. I don't know what the white bar is. I think the white bar is your hull. And I think you can lose hull on certain parts of your ship. As I said, lots and lots of layers going on for your ship. You are like an onion. A space onion. Just enjoy the music. I will note that the music, for as much as I like it, it has a bad habit of kind of fading in and out at times. So we're gonna see if this is a good guy or a bad guy. Pulse it out. Can't tell from now. You know what? It looks like it's a good guy. Because sometimes you'll find a distress beacon, and the distress beacon will actually be from an enemy who's trying to fool you, which I think is fun. That's a double jack. Fire off a broadside. Love firing off broadsides. There's something really satisfying about firing off a giant barrage of lasers or particles or whatever, because you definitely have like proton beams and shit. and watching everything just get destroyed. It's really enjoyable. Grab this metallic ore. Why don't we do some mining here while we're here? Let's just show how that works. Switch over to my lasers. Put out a pulse. The pulse tells me what stuff is mineable. Is there anything that's really good here? You definitely get a feel as you mine for which rocks will have especially good stuff. Where's one that's nearby? That one over there. That will have shit in it. You know which stuff has stuff in it because it will, you know, get a little thing. This asteroid here is the one we want. Get close up to it. And you need to use a mining laser. Mining lasers have different ranges and damage ratios. And they will cut through stuff, blow it up, pick up the ore, or space ingots, or meteoric diamonds, or whatever silly thing, and move on from there. Oh, hey, minerals unobtainium, or obtainium. We want that. That sells for a whole bunch. Lots of good tongue-in-cheek dialogue in this game, especially for stuff like the commodities. That's all in the... That's all kind of other places, though. Like, this game hits a really good balance between humor and, like full-on, just good old classic, kind of pulpy space smuggler stuff. Like, it's got a real good vibe, this game. You get your nice, grody-ass space trucker music, and same goes for a lot of the characters you're running into. There's a little bit of pulp space fiction kind of smuggler stuff going on beneath that. Get a little bit of humor, a little bit of, like, Star Wars-y space militia stuff. Like, it's all... There's a lot to this. It does a very good job of being interesting, of being worth the time to kind of go into, I guess. So get to our drop point. Here, there are two factions currently fighting each other. If I'm not mistaken, you've got the Red Devils. They're all guarding this drop we need. There's a dead drop here. Right on our fucking... Yep. Oh, my deflector is out. That's not good. Well, if we can take down this Corvette, that will help things out a lot. Yeah, a lot of very tactical usage of deflectors is a big part of this game. Knowing when do you need to turn on different stuff in order to protect your hull. But then at the same time, it's also very action-y as you're constantly kind of like finding the enemy, layering off barrages of lasers, all that kind of fun stuff. Just a general good mix of tactics and action going on here. Really into what this game is just putting down. Pulse out. What I want is that thing. Tractor in the dead drop. And we did it. Let's go to where we're going next. Oh shit. More dudes have shown up. The Corians are here now. Let's get the fuck out of here because we do not have the strength to fight the Corians. There's a lot of them. That's where this gets tough, is where you'll get a whole bunch of enemies coming down at you at once, and then the other half of this game kicks in, which is how good are you at evading stuff, and that involves stuff like just running from dies, activating your deflectors while kind of making cool evasive maneuvers. There's stuff here. I guess it's worth mentioning this game's only $20, which is kind of the crazy thing. This feels like it should be like a $30 minimum game, but no, it's actually totally cheap. It's 20 bucks, and it's a lot of fun for 20 bucks. Seems fairly long too. They've kind of quoted their campaign at being 40 hours, but some people have gone through it in less. Some people will go through it in more. It's very much, you know, very adaptable. There's definitely a lot of... You can spend a lot of time doing side objectives, and a lot of time, or you can skip them entirely. Definitely a lot of variance there. Just have fun. Gonna go to this thing. Debating whether I want to go touch upon the story mission really quick, just to show how some of that dialogue works. I guess I haven't really talked about the premise besides space smuggling. The big idea here is that your aunt was a big old space smuggler and she's gone missing, and kind of sent you a message to go find her, and gave you a big crazy space egg along with it. And eventually, hey, guess what? The space egg turns out to be a real special important thing, and you're going to work with a artificial intelligence that lies within the space egg, which is a minor spoiler, but it's a very early spoiler, to do a thing. Kind of goes on from there. You're also trying to save your aunt, obviously, is a big part of the story campaign. Oh, but you can hear, like, the music stopped. I wish you could actively start the music. Like, I wish the music acted as a radio and not just kind of filtering in whenever it wants to, sort of thing, like it does in reality. Oh well. Again, if I'm assuming a little stamina, like I'm not making a lot of sense. Yeah, a lot of stuff to talk about this game. Oh, wait to go past this stuff. Move forward a little bit more. I'll drop off this cargo, and then we'll go see the opening cutscene for the next mission, which I believe is me talking to a space admiral, someone with the militia. We're gonna go try to find my aunt, and then we'll maybe cut it there. I think I've shown what I need to show with this game. Shown some combat, shown some mission structure, shown some commodities trading. That's kind of what it is. It's very much like, in terms of general structure, it is your very typical space trading sim. It doesn't do much differently in that basic idea in terms of structure, but it's the story, the presentation, the gameplay, that's where it gets interesting, that's where it's very different. So, yeah. Apparently my ship is fine, so let's get the fuck out of here. Go, run over to the main mission and call it good.
Engines at maximum.
Yeah, you can see my mercenary flying around behind me. They always just kind of keep behind your ship. They don't rest on your ship. You can't, like, launch them off, which is a pity. I think that'd be kind of cool. I think later on you might get fighters that you can, like, launch off from your ship, but I'm not sure. I might be thinking of a different game. I will say, I haven't mentioned it too much. I've talked about how the gameplay is very Assassin's Creed-y, Assassin's Creed 4-y. But, like, just the fact that this is a space game that plays like a sea game, the fact that it is a space game that controls navally, I actually really like. I know a lot of people were disappointed with this game in the fact that it is like this. It is not 6 Degrees of Freedom, that you don't have the up and down. But I really don't think that hurts the game. I think that actually does a lot for the game, for its playability. It makes it a lot simpler, makes it a lot easier to understand, at least it makes it a lot more accessible. And to just be able to focus on the action is really refreshing. It's a lot easier to keep your eyes on your opponents, to know what's going on, and just have fun when it's like this. And the fact that it matters, I mean, the up and down still counts. It's still there. The fighters are all going up and down, doing all that kind of stuff. There's still stuff at the, you know, at that axis. It's not completely flat. But the fact that your control is flat makes it a lot easier, and makes it a lot easier to play, and a lot easier to understand. It makes it just more enjoyable in my mind. So let's go look at the story mission. Let's go talk to this admiral. There's my mercenary. This one I already have. Is this awesome robot alien lady. Anyways, let's go talk to Xenia.
Lucky for Juno, it looks like our little
The voice acting is generally decent. There's a couple of weird, stilted bits of dialogue, but it's generally not bad.
On a series of flight groups, all moving fast, and so much fighter cover, we know they're worth the hit.
All right then. So it looks like Juno. Looks like for Juno, it looks like our plan is going to work. Double check. So it looks like we know we got to go attack some fighters. They're going to give us more information about where my aunt is.
Until we find what we need and split up to improve our chances.
All right.
These flight groups are in motion, so after you've intercepted one, if you're still empty-handed, I'll feed you.
So it's just going to be fighting a bunch of fight groups. Got it.
That's great, but an escape pod works just as well. We need a warm good luck.
All right, so that's enough of that. I'm not actually going to play this mission. I'm going to call it there. That's Rogue Galaxy. I really like it. I really like this game. It's got just solid gameplay. The combat is incredibly fun. It is very much just Assassin's Creed 4, but there's enough variance to it, and it fits the setting well enough that I really like it. The commodities trading, the getting the missions, and doing all that stuff. I mean, those are tried and true systems. They work really well here. The story seems interesting. The music is great. The presentation on the whole is absolutely fantastic. The great grungy-ass space trucker feel is something you don't get enough of in these kind of games, and it does it really well here. It's worth your time. Even if you don't like space sims, which I don't blame you if you don't, because traditionally they can be a bit dry, I would recommend checking this one out, because it replaces a lot of the dry stuff from that genre with more interesting, free-flowing, just accessible combat. So go check it out. Go check it out. It's available today. It's on Steam. It's coming to PS4 and Xbox One. It's $20, which is, like, it's, in my opinion, that's $10 cheaper than it should be. I know I'm praising the shit out of this game, but it deserves it. It's really good. Go check it out. So as always, I've been Rose Halfbeard. Once again, this has been Rebel Galaxy, and we're out of here. Later, guys.